I just found a 100% electric compressor on a fully gas car. There's no hybrid, there's no electrical. This is electric compressor on this vehicle. And let me show you the sticker I just found because I can't get down there to show you the compressor. Let's see if I could do this now. I gotta get it down there. Okay, sorry guys. I'm gonna have to put the phone down while I get this onto there because you cannot see. Let's see. You could see my light. You see my little light moving down there? You're gonna see my okay, you're gonna see the bore scope move as I move it. I'm far away. I'm 3 feet away on the other side of the car. And I'm trying to look for that sticker. Seen it. There it goes. I see it. Right there. Now I gotta reach for the phone. At the same time, I keep this in focus, which is really hard to do. Okay, come on, guy. All right, I got you. Right there. That is the sticker on the side of the compressor. That's an electric compressor. And it's not a hybrid compressor where it's a pulley and electric. This is straight up 100% electric. Now I'm looking for a part number, and I found the wires. When I was over here, I could see the big wiring harness. Let me focus you in on here. Let's get back here. So let me, sorry guys, I'm turning you all over the place. So I'm trying to let you see what I can see. I'm gonna zoom in. Okay, let's see. Do you see where the tip of my finger is going over that Mercedes logo? That big black plastic thing? That is the high voltage electric connector going into the electric compressor. And if you follow it back over here, you could almost start to see the wiring. And I got my flashlight right down there, as you can see. But what I did was I took my bore scope. Let me zoom back out. I took my bore scope and I took my camera lens down there and I got to the wiring. Well, I'm not even gonna try to do it on video. I'll explain it to you. I took my camera, I got the back to connector, and has big ass thick electrical wires going into the back of that. So we have the electric sticker on front, we have no pulley, we have an electric compressor on a gasoline car. So since there's no signal commanding, supposedly there's no code on the dash saying AC is out. They're gonna have to run a scan tool. They already went to Mercedes and Mercedes didn't give them any information other than charge them $1,000 or more to tear out the carpet and say, yes, you have mold. Now it's another $8,000 to tear apart the dash. If I was to tear apart this dash, if it came into my shop, I would charge $9,000. You think that's wrong on this car? No. You better not underbid when you tackle something like, especially if you're not ready for it, and you better have a good connection to a third-party private Mercedes guy who owns factory Mercedes-Benz scanner, has access to factory Mercedes-Benz diagnostic schematics and stuff like that before you take on. I know somebody, and actually he would probably not even want to take this on because he makes too much money doing other job that's much simpler. Up in Daly City, there's Jimmy, Junipero Auto Repair. I know he has the factory. He has, you know, what, $50,000, $80,000 for the factory Mercedes, and he has access and everything like that. I would send this car to him if he wanted to do it. Now, a few things caught my eye here. Maybe there was a battery problem. Did somebody switch out a battery and not reprogram? Did somebody over voltage? Because why is this like this? Scrape marks on it. Somebody jump started it. Then I came down here and I seen coolant through my bore scope. When I was coming down here on that wiring connector that's way over there, I seen dried pink coolant down on that wiring connector. And I go, why is there coolant that is crusty and dry accumulated on the wiring electrical connector down there? There should no be, unless somebody was sloppy. But this is a new vehicle and I don't think it was ready for a coolant service. Why are they topping off the coolant if, why are they topping off the coolant? Let's see what the mileage is on this car. It's a 2021, and I don't think this is ready for coolant service yet. Let's see, how do we get the mileage on this? Okay. One of these things are not like the other. Let's play Mr. Rogers. Or was that, no, that was Sesame Street. When they're trying to figure out through, you know, this one thing is not like the others, and we're trying to figure out how to get the mileage. Okay, I'm not gonna look for the mileage because I got a shitload of cars to do today, and this is just interesting and it's taking up my time. But I got more to learn, and this is one thing I like. I get exposed to AC problems and see cars that are brand new that you guys won't see for 5 or 10 years before they're out of warranty and they start going to third party. But this stimulates my mind to learn more, and I want to know more about this system. So let's say this is not due for a coolant service, then there would be no reason to top up coolant. But yet there was a lot of water down there causing mold, a lot of moisture. But was it water or was it coolant? Is there a TSB out on this? Did Mercedes-Benz not tell the customer that is there a known problem with a coolant leak, and that's why they're topping off, and that's why I see coolant spilt way down there on top of the compressor on the connector, dried and crusty and pink when it shouldn't be. We need more facts, we need more information. The doctor has to ask the client, what are your symptoms? Have we been topping off coolant? Why do we have coolant overflow and spilled and dry out here? Why did we have this? So there's several ways to look for a leak. You could use the ultrasonic leak detector, and what you do is you find in a point where you crack the window, you put in a little blower motor that's variable, so you just need a little pressure. You don't need a shop vac. You don't want to make leaks. You want to find small leaks. So you could either do pressure or you could flip it around and you can do suction. You could do both ways. And you tape up, you put in your little snorkel right here, you force air in or you pull air out to the point where with your Pascal meter, you read an inch of water column or, you know, a half inch of water column. And then you go around with your ultra. So here's a roof, a moon roof, and it has a seal around here. You have seal all the way around your glass and everything like that. And you pressurize or you put under negative and you break out the ultrasonic leak detector and you start going around. Then you can pressurize. You don't want to pressurize and make a leak, but you can pressurize and you could go with soapy water and you could start soapy watering everything, because you're trying to find out why is that filling up, and including down here in the crown. You take all this apart. It could be leaking down here. Every time he goes to a car wash, it could be leaking down through somewhere in the firewall where there's a connection and there's a seal. And every time he goes into a car wash and it's going down behind and coming out inside and going underneath the carpet and filling it. You don't know what's causing the leak. This is where the ultrasonic leak detector comes in. This is where pressure, positive pressure or negative pressure in the ultrasonic or soapy bubbles comes in. Now this is hours of work. It could be hours. So on a car like this, just to perform those tests, I'd probably charge about $1,500 to perform positive pressure, negative pressure tests, bubble tests, take all this apart. That's not including the $8,000 or $9,000 I would charge to take apart the dash before I go to that next step and try to tackle it there. But before that problem, you have to diagnose the air conditioning. Get the air conditioning up and running and try to repeat the problem. Is the drain plug coming out plugged up, going to the bottom of the HVAC paste, and it overfilled and it went into the carpet? Many of you had that on your mind. You would have to diagnose that first too. But first, before we blow or try to stick something up the drain plug, we use the camera here and we look up the drain plug. Then we diagnose, and you would get the, now all these are separate diagnoses. Then you would get the AC up and running mechanically by using your diagnostic procedures to make sure the signal is getting there and the compressor is okay. Get the AC running, fix that problem as number one, because you cannot find out about the leak problem unless you know the AC case is leaking. So that's another that's another charge, that's another invoice. That's separate. You get the AC, you let the HVAC case fill up with water and see that it's draining out normally, find out that there's no leaks. Okay, you've done that. say it's not leaking. Now you jump on, is it the crown? Is it the window? Is it here? Somehow it's getting into the door pillar, following the door pillar down, and then going behind underneath the carpet and coming up. Now here's another thing you can do. These guys spent all that money to pull out the carpets in this car. If there's a little puddle of the water in the bottom of the footwell, if it had that much water, you just need one drop, and you take up one dropper full of that water and you put it on a prism glass. The you guys who know what I'm talking about, it's a little lens that has a prism inside of it, a refractometer. I have it for glycol, and I have one for ester oil and peg oil for analyzing oil using a refractometer, and I have a refractometer for glycol. So what you would do is you would take one drop of that sample and you put one drop on a refractometer, and you go outside, look up at the light for the sun, and you look at it and you can find out if it's pure water or if it's a glycol mix. If it's pure water, then it's water. If it's glycol, then it'll show on the refractometer. It looks like a little rifle scope, and it has a little reticle on it. It's like you're aiming far away and you have your little reticle, and you're gonna take out, the jihadi guy over there, 3,000 yards away. And so you're looking at that little reticle, and it'll tell you what the percentage of glycol mixed with the water. So then you've just done your diagnosis, figuring out it's glycol or if it's water. If it's a water, you're looking for a water leak. If it's a glycol, you automatically know it's the heater core or a hose hooked up to it. You're doing this by a process of elimination. You're being Sherlock Holmes. You look at everything like you're trying to unravel a puzzle. You don't just guess. A lot of guessing was going on here, and they already had the carpet on, and they could have solved this problem right away by taking one drop water sample of the water that I seen the video. The customer sent the video of what Mercedes-Benz, when they had the carpet out, he took a video and you could see the moisture and the mold and stuff like that. Well, that was the time to take one drop of water out of there and sample it, and then game over. We know what's wrong. But no, they didn't do that, and that's Mercedes-Benz. This is stuff, I'm not a genius. This is stuff my dad taught me when I was a kid. Before high school, I knew this. So this is all simple stuff. But unfortunately, simple isn't simple for today's, well, remember, most of our businesses are ran by managers and owners who don't actually work in the field that they're in. They just guess and they make shit up. And that's what happened to America. A bunch of dumb Fs have taken over all the businesses who are not technically competent in the businesses they own. And so we have shit like this happening. I'll catch you guys later. We already know this is electrical. And if you give me one drop of that water that's underneath that carpet, I can tell you what's wrong with this car. See you guys.